Hello, and welcome to the stage here at historic Swift Creek Mill Theater in Chesterfield County, Virginia. My name is Tom Width, and I am the producing artistic director here at the Mill. I came to this area in the mid-1970s. I became resident actor here at the Mill in 1976 and did that for several years. After a little while, they started letting me direct some shows, design the sets for some shows. I also built a whole lot of shows with these two hands. I can build just about anything that I think up, and that is really fun for me. But before any of that happened, before I ever got here to Central Virginia, I made my living as a magician. I would tour around the country, sawing people in half, levitating them, making things appear and disappear, all that good stuff that magicians do. It's still my favorite thing to do to this day. I love magic and I love illusion. And it's not so different from what we do in the theater all the time. What we as actors and producers of theater do is make people believe that something is right before their eyes that isn't really right before their eyes. It's a deception of a certain kind, a very convincing one. But I found over the years that a lot of theater technicians did not understand a lot of the ways and means of the magician, things that I understand very well. So I started to teach a workshop in the principles of magic as they can apply to theatrical design and special effects. Now, fast forward to the pandemic of 2020, 2021. We as a theater were looking for some different projects that we could do to stay in touch with our audiences during this time. And one of the things we did was videotape some of our youth theater performances and do some technical workshops. And one of those technical workshops that we did on tape was me doing my workshop entitled Principles of Magic in Theater Design. Fast forward just a little bit more, and the Richmond Performing Arts Alliance got in touch with me asking if I would be interested in doing a video workshop on that same subject. Well, I told them we had just finished a 2-hour workshop on tape here. So we thought, well, how can we make this work for everybody? And what we did was take a section of my 2-hour workshop, about a 20-minute section about mirrors, and put that on this tape for you to see. And then if you would like sometime to see the entire workshop, which is, as I said, is 2 hours long, we will make that available as well, and I'll tell you how you can do that later on. But for now, we're going to go ahead and show you this one very fun section. I have lots of videotape over the years of me putting these principles of magic into action in actual stage productions. And those video clips are included in this as well, so I think you'll really enjoy it. And one more thing that's really important before we get started. Secrets. Magicians have secrets. That's no secret, right? I can't tell you how many people have come up to me and said, "How did you do that?" And my answer is always the same. "I did it very well, thank you." There's a reason why we keep our secrets. I don't have any magical powers, neither do you, neither does anyone else that I know of outside of a Harry Potter story. The reason we keep our secrets is because that's our magical power. The only power that I have over an audience is that I know how it's done and they don't. And if you give away the secret, you've given away your magical power over an audience. So I'm urging you today, as you watch this, to not divulge the secrets that I'm going to be telling you. I'm going to be exposing some magic tricks and principles that are used by other magicians. It's not our right to tell how these things are done, except in our own community of magic and special effects. So I can't make you do this, but I urge you, please keep the secrets that you learn today and use them in your theater work later on. Okay? I hope you enjoy this 20 minutes of mirror magic, and remember, the angle of reflection is equal to the angle of incidence. Now, that slide that you just saw tells you about a principle of physics that we're going to study right now. And you probably already know this intuitively, but I'm going to explain it and tell you the exact principle, which you just read. Now, this is something that all of you use every day, hopefully, when you comb your hair, brush your teeth, that sort of thing. It's a mirror. I'm coming close enough to the camera that you can actually see the camera in the mirror, yes? Okay. And I'm probably being very loud because I'm right on top of this microphone now. Now, we are all used to using a mirror. We look straight into the mirror to look at ourselves, and our reflection comes straight back out at us. And that is because, as the principle says, the angle of reflection is equal to the angle of incidence. All that means is that the reflection leaves the mirror at the same angle that it came in. So if it's coming in straight, it's going to come back out straight, and you see yourself in the mirror. And that's the way we use most mirrors. It's very simple. Now, what we want to do, and what's very useful for magicians and theatrical people, is to take that to another level and create empty space where people do not know there is empty space. And mirrors are wonderful for that. They create I tell you, one of my favorite things when I build a new illusion is to be able to stand back in the workshop and look at that illusion and say, oh yeah, oh man, no way, that's terrific. I am so pleased when I couldn't possibly tell where the lady is hiding in the illusion, or how it's done. And the optical illusion is so excellent that it makes me just so happy. So anyway, back to the mirror, looking straight in. All right, now you see the camera in that mirror, yes? All right, now I am going to pivot the mirror 45 degrees very slowly. And as I do this, I'm pivoting it forward. You see the tripod. You see the chairs that the tripod is on. And if I keep going, you see the stage floor. And now you're going to see my feet. So I am looking straight ahead, but I'm seeing my own feet. Now let me come back up. And we see the camera again. This works not only in the vertical, but in the horizontal as well. I could give you a tour of the theater by just angling the mirror to one side. There is our messy theater that we need to clean up. Or the other way. Now, any angle, any useful angle is possible, but this is mostly used for the purpose of creating an empty box, as it were. And of course, a box would generally have a 90-degree angle. So if I tilt this mirror at 45 degrees and look in this way, the reflection is going to go straight down and I'm going to see the floor. And that 45-degree angle added to that 45-degree angle makes a 90-degree angle, which would be the back end of a box. Now, this doesn't work here in open space, but in a contained space of a container, it works very, very well. I'm going to show you an old trick in which this is used. This doesn't work anymore, but it used to. This is called the silk fountain. Now, there's a light bulb here, and it used to light up. You can see right under the mirror, you can see to the back of this box here, all the way down to the floor. And there's a light bulb here, and the light bulb would light up, and then you would pull maybe 30 handkerchiefs out of the light bulb. And it was amazing because they're not coming out. You can't possibly see where they're coming out of. Now, what's so cool about this is that this is actually an optical illusion done with a mirror. You think you can see underneath to the back wall of this box. Well, you can up here see the back wall, but down here, mirror. The mirror starts at the bottom of the light bulb and goes back at a 45-degree angle until it's all the way at the bottom of the box. Now, the floor of the box exactly matches the back of the box. So when this floor is reflected in the mirror, it looks like it lines up, well, it does line up perfectly with the back of the box. So even if I do this, you think you're seeing empty space back there, when in fact, there's a little flap here, you fill that up with silk handkerchiefs, and you have all of that space behind the mirror to hide what we call your load, the things you want to pull out of the trick. So that's an amazing illusion, and what we've done is create empty space using the mirror as our deception. It's very deceptive, and I love it. Now, we do a show here at the Mill and in lots of schools called Magicadabra. It's a show that teaches lots of SOL lessons to students using magic as a visual aid, helps keep people's attention. For instance, we sing a song about Isaac Newton and gravity, and then we levitate someone off the ground to defy gravity. And you learn the lesson, but at the same time, you're entertained by the magic. And we have about 18 songs in that show, all demonstrating different SOLs. One of them is called Silent E. Do you remember Silent E from school? I do now. For a couple of seasons, I did a show on PBS television called The Magic Shop, and we taught language arts to second graders, also using magic as a visual aid. And I can still remember the Silent E lesson, and I had to learn all these things right because we were teaching. Silent E, the mystical, magical little letter, which, when added to the end of a word, changes the vowel sound that comes before it from short to long. Do you remember that? Hat, put an E on the end, it changes the A in hat to a long A, so hat becomes hate. Mat becomes mate, and on you go. Silent E. Well, we do a number called Silent E in the Magicadabra show, and I built a larger version of that illusion that I just showed you to use in that show, and of course, we wrote a song about Silent E. I have videotape of that from our Magicadabra show, and I'm going to show it to you right now.
Quiet now, quiet now. We all have to be quiet now. We are looking for a letter that doesn't make a sound, so we'll tiptoe around till that letter can be found. That letter's so renowned for how it can sound and be found without making a sound. It's profound. Cha cha cha. Ooh. Ah. We found it. Wow. We found it. Wow. Our special magic letter has appeared somehow. The letter we've been seeking has the name of Silent E. We can now guarantee that you cannot disagree that this letter is the key, for it has ability to create sorcery. You will see. And it's free. Silent E. Cha-cha-cha. Silent E. Cha-cha-cha. Silent E. Silent E. Silent E. Silent E. It's on the serious letter. Listen carefully to what's wrong. Silent E will do its magic. It can't go wrong. I will listen because it. Silent E. Silent E. It's on the serious letter. You will see. Listen carefully to what's wrong. Silent E will do its magic. It can't go wrong. End of a word, it changes the sound they have already heard. It has a power that's magically strong to take the vowel sound before it from short to long. Silent E, you will see, it changes hum into hope, it changes hum into hope. Silent E, how can it be that happy will take and the fact will break? So that we'll eat it, please repeat it. The end of a word, it changes the sound they have already heard. It has a power that is magically strong to change the vowel sound before it from short to long. Silent E, listen to me. It changes into light. It changes into light. Silent E, it's in the steady. How magical take and the magical take. Just one more, sing it for us.
So there's Silent E using a mirror illusion. Now, I'm going to talk to you about something else we have done in that same vein. This is another show that's so much fun. There's a musical called Something's Afoot, and it's a spoof of Agatha Christie type of murder mysteries. Only in this one, they take it a little further. There are 10 people in this old English manor house, trapped on this island by a raging thunderstorm outside. By the end of the musical, all 10 people are dead, and they have all been killed by the scenery and the props. Poison gas shooting out of a telephone, a staircase that blows up, all kinds of things. But my favorite one in the whole show, the script calls for the maid to be swallowed up by a giant vase. And normally it's done with a big tall vase sitting against a wall, and the girl goes inside of it and kind of is not seen again. It's not particularly magical. She just goes inside the vase or vase. I wanted to make it a truly magical trick. So what I did was I've built a very special mirror table. I think it might be one of the favorite illusions I have ever built. I put a big flower pot on top of it, and the maid goes over to see, she's looking for some money that she thinks is in the flower pot. As soon as she sticks her head in, we hear a growling animal. She starts screaming. She goes head foot into a flower pot that could not possibly contain her. It's way too small, and she disappears. And then the actors come out and take that flower pot and carry it off stage, and she is never seen again. The audience loves it and applauds for it every single night. It's just a great special effect. Now, before I show you the actual videotape of that happening, I'm going to show you some slides, and, well, I want you to know what you're looking at before you see it. And then you'll enjoy it more, and you'll be in the know, but you won't be telling anyone else about it, okay? Here's the first slide. This is the stage set for that production. And you can see upstage right there is this table. It has a cloth drapery that goes over the top and down the sides, and it has a big flower pot on the top. Now, it looks innocent enough. It sits there for the entire show. We don't try to hide it or do anything tricky with it. Now, for our next slide, this is the table close up with no pot on the table. The reason I picked this patterned tapestry for the tablecloth is so that I could cut a trap in there through the plywood top and then through the tapestry, and you wouldn't even be able to see it. As you can see in this picture, you can't tell that there's a trapdoor there that's going to go downward to let this young lady escape out the back of the set, as you'll see in a minute. Now, the mirror goes from just under the front edge of the tabletop at a 45-degree angle down to that rounded sort of post in the middle. So it doesn't go all the way to the back and all the way to the floor. It just goes to that post. And behind the mirror is a piece of plywood, because we wouldn't want her putting her weight on the back of a piece of glass. That could be dangerous. So there's a piece of plywood back there to guide her down through the trapdoor. And there's a person behind the set to catch her as she comes through head first. Now you'll notice too that there's a little platform underneath this table. The floor has to exactly match the wall. So when you look right under that tabletop and think you're seeing the back wall of the set, you actually aren't. You're seeing a reflection of the floor below the table. But it all looks like it's part of the wall behind the table. So the illusion is really, really excellent. Now, here's a shot with the flower pot back on the table, and we're looking down inside the flower pot with the trapdoor open. So you can see that piece of tapestry flipped downward, and you can see where she's going to head to go out through. Now I'm looking from on stage down into that flower pot. Now we'll go around behind the set, and this is the view of the person who's going to catch her as she comes through the trapdoor. There's a little flat place there behind the mirror, and there's the angled part behind the mirror that she can slide down. The person who's waiting back there catches her by her arms first, and once she can get her arms on the floor, she can pull the rest of her out, and then we close the trapdoor from underneath, and no one is any the wiser. Now, I will continue the video portion of this a little bit further beyond what you've seen in these slides, because when they come in and discover that Letty, that's the character's name, has disappeared, one funny thing too, this was just a hoot. After the flower pot swallows her up, we wait a couple of beats, and then the flower pot belches and throws out one of her shoes. Always gets a laugh. Now, when the other characters come back in and realize she has disappeared, they look in the flower pot and they decide, who knows what they are supposed to see, her remains, I guess, or something, but she's gone. So they decide to take the flower pot away. They lift up the flower pot. They are very careful to carry it side on to the audience because we don't want the audience to see that there's no bottom. So they're very careful about that. But they carry it right off stage, and the tabletop is perfectly smooth and the illusion is complete. It's really wonderful, and I think you will enjoy watching it. So here we go.
What in the hurry? I want to get out of here. Oh. What's this? Dear Lord Rankle, as your solicitor, I must insist that you stop earning very large sums of money in that squatty antique vase over there under the dead animal.
The police? What have we here? And what have we here? Gentlemen, something's afoot. Another diabolical plot.
You don't think she would have?
She couldn't have.
She did. Gentlemen,
Library.
Wasn't that fun? I told you. I love watching it. I've watched it 100 times. I still love watching it. It's so funny. And my friend Robin O'Neill, who's a wonderful actress, played the maid. And my friend Eric Williams made all those snarling wolf noises as she was chewed up by the flower pot. So I had a lot of help, and I love that illusion. Going to show you one more real quick that uses the exact same principle. Bonnie Bunny Tales that we did for the kids. I played the weasel, I think, who was a wizard, and he made Bonnie Bunny disappear into this box that he had. Same trick, a big green box that you think is empty, but there's a mirror, very much like the table that I just showed you, that gives us this loading space back behind the mirror. So I put Bonnie Bunny in there, drop a curtain around her. We turn the illusion around once, during which she opens 2 trapdoors and hides down, crouched down behind the mirror. And when we raise the curtain, she has gone. It's very deceptive and very surprising because it looks like she really fills that whole space. I tell you, not many people realize how little space you need to hide a human being. You can play around with all kinds of different configurations, whether to hide someone flat or crouched or legs this way or that way or whatever. There's lots of different ways and lots of different ways to do trapdoors too. But you can usually hide somebody in a very small space. This video is not very good quality because it's from quite a long time ago, but take a look at Bonnie Bunny Tales. Here you go.
You're doing an extra trick just for me?
Just for you.
Oh, do I get a
Well, of
prize?
course you get a prize.
Oh, can it be the carrot?
Of course, the carrots you like. Anything you like. You can have all the carrots you like if you just get up here in my little box.
Well, that's easy.
Step right on it. Oh my, you filled it up rather nicely.
Thank you.
Goodbye, little bunny rabbit. Now, boys and girls, I need you to help me one more time because I am going to wave my magic wand and count to 3. And when I do, I want you once again to say those magic words. Oodgy, woodgy, budgy. Are you ready?
Yes.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3. And now. Bunny rabbit. Gone, 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 gone. Woo, there.
Well, there you are, the magic of mirrors. I hope you enjoyed watching that. I know I had a blast putting it together. And remember, it's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more you can learn on these subjects. In the full 2-hour video, I actually give you a bibliography of source material if you would like to learn more. And if you would like to watch that full 2-hour video, which covers many other subjects on the principles of magic, I will give you the video IP address for that. But for now, we're going to say goodbye. Thanks again for watching, and remember, always keep your magic theatrical and keep your theater magical. Thanks again for watching. Bye for now.